Hey, Meghann Scully, and this is the Limerick Post Show, and I'm delighted now to be joined by HR Director of Regeneron, Ivor Downey. How are you?
Good to be here. Thanks for having me.
And I have to say, of course, it is a great news story. We're talking about 400 jobs announced for Regeneron. But before we get to that, can you tell us a little bit more about Regeneron and the work they do?
So Regeneron is a biotechnology company, and we've been in existence over 30 years. We're headquartered out of New York, just outside Manhattan, in an area called Tarrytown. And Regeneron came to Limerick in 2014.
Okay.
So yeah, I picked up the old Dell facility. And again, I suppose over the last 6 months, Meghann, or last 6 years even, the company has built what is the largest biologics facility in the country.
Wow.
Maybe not a lot of people know that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So and it's been obviously, when you look back in it now, it's a phenomenal achievement in terms of growth, but it's been done, very very much via pragmatic steps and building up the site over that time frame. In obviously, taking up the facility, which was an old computer facility, putting in the infrastructure, commissioning the site in terms of the right the biotechnology production equipment, validating it, getting it through all of the regulatory approvals that are required in the type of industry that we're in. We operate in a kind of a 24/7 inspection readiness state. So, regulatory agencies like the HPRA, EMA, FDA, etc., do come and visit us, and we got to be ready for inspection when that occurs. But yeah, I suppose overall, the type of medicines that we produce is an area known as biologics. And this is a medicine that, at the end of the day, that gets injected into the human body. So with that, I guess, comes a lot of responsibility in terms of how we produce it. There's a lot of trust given to our employees in terms of the steps that we have to go through. But we've had phenomenal success in growing the site in Limerick, and bringing that Regeneron culture, which, as I mentioned, is 30 odd years in existence, to Raheen, to the facility, and bringing up the site over the last couple of years.
It's absolutely fascinating to think that that's going on, on our doorstep every day. And as you said, 24/7, like, it's absolutely incredible. Like, I always knew it was something to do with medical, but I never actually knew what was made inside in that factory. So now to know that it's incredible. And obviously, I guess, given what's going on right now, that's an area that's always going to be needed.
Absolutely, yeah. And look, obviously there are difficult times in the world right now. And I suppose, like all these things, what this has allowed Regeneron to do is to accelerate its plans to bring the full commercial suite of medicines that we have to the Raheen facility. And that's something that we've been able to do via increased licensure over the last 6 months. And obviously building up the teams as well to support that. And that's, from my perspective, that's particularly important, and particularly important now as we're looking to add an additional 400 jobs to the facility.
It's so incredible when the news broke, and I saw on Taoiseach Micheál Martin and on Tánaiste that Leo Varadkar were both in attendance, which was, must have been really great to see them there at the facility and there to announce the 400 jobs.
Yeah, and in fairness, I think that underscores the significance of what we're talking about as well, and the significance of what this means for not only the country, but particularly for the Midwest region. It's not too often, unfortunately, these days where you do see the Taoiseach and the Tánaiste coming to the site. So we're delighted to have them both with us. They met with our site head, Niall O'Leary, and Mary Buckley, the executive director from the IDA. They were very impressed with what they saw, and they spoke to our executive vice president, Dan Van Plu, in New York via telecom. Had a good discussion with Dan and Niall. But I think it does underscore the significance of what we're talking about. These are high value jobs across the entire spectrum of what we're doing at the Raheen facility. And that's, we're talking about scientists, chemists, microbiologists, people with a science qualification, but even some that don't have qualifications and are trying to get into the biotech sector. There's a wide variety of roles that we're posting right now.
So if people want to apply for these roles, where can they find more information?
Sure. So if they look at careers.regeneron.com and look under industrial operations and product supply, they'll see the full suite of roles that we have available. And again, for other information, I'd encourage people to reach out to regeneron.ie, where they'll see testimonials and profiles of our employees as well.
As I said, it's absolutely incredible news for Limerick and for this all of Ireland really, and to see that we're going to be getting such a boost for our economy, and hopefully see more people move to Limerick as well, which I think is really needed, and we need to show people how good our city
Absolutely,
and county is.
yeah, and to be fair, Meghann, we've seen a bit of that. We've seen a good bit of that over the last couple of months and over the last several years. And having a biotech plant and having the largest biotech in the country on our doorsteps in Raheen has enabled that to happen. And it really has brought a different skill set to the Midwest region, which hasn't existed before. I mean, Limerick has had a good presence in technology and computers and the like over many years, but this brings a whole other sector to the region. And there's a phenomenal amount of spin-off benefits to that, to other companies, to the hospitality sector and just general business in the region. So it's great to have it. It's great to see it growing, and we're delighted to support that and keep that going. And again, I would reiterate, the careers.regeneron.com. If people want to apply for those positions, please check them out and see what we're all about.
Ivor Downey of Regeneron, thank you so much for chatting to us. That's a great news story, and hopefully next time we'll be talking, will be more good news.
Great. Thanks very much, Meghann. Thank you.